Welcome back. I'm Helen.
I'm James.
And we are global nomads. And in 2024, we sold everything we owned to retire early and travel the world full time. So in today's video, we are going to take you on a travel day from Kuala Lumpur to Bangkok. And then we're also going to show you around our accommodation in Bangkok and a little bit of our day-to-day life.
Okay, so we are leaving Star Apartments where we've been for 2 months, and we are on to our next stop, which is going to be Bangkok, Thailand.
Where it's flooded at the moment.
Yes, unprecedented rain. But never mind, these things. We left Star Apartments too and jumped in a Velfire to go to the airport. The cost was approximately $45 and took about an hour to get there.
And just a heads up that the $45 does seem to be fairly standard. We got quotes from quite a few drivers who will gladly give you their cards as they're driving you around throughout your time there. And it seemed like that was a pretty set fee, that it didn't really change.
As part of our ticket with Thai Airways, we received access to the Plaza Premium Lounge. Wasn't a bad lounge with runway views, but they were restricted for certain airlines. So we couldn't actually go to the side where you could get these great runway views, but I snuck in anyway.
The Thai Airways section was kind of put off to one side. We were in the back corner with our own set of food that was available. There was a few snacks, but nothing too impressive, and tea and coffee and soft drinks. Still nicer than sitting in the airport though, so I'm not complaining. Here we are with my new wheelchair assist pusher.
Don't get tips or anything.
Welcome on board Thai Airways 787. This is a Dreamliner, and this is Royal Orchid class.
Or business. Retirement does not serve.
So we have the signature Thai drink. Tastes a little bit like Ribena with lemon in, I'm not gonna lie, but it's nice. We pushed back right on time for our less than 2-hour flight to Bangkok. On Thai Airways, they operate a reverse herringbone seat in business class. It's an okay seat, not the greatest. It was less than a 2-hour flight, so it didn't really matter too much. Perfectly comfortable enough, and of course, better than sitting in economy for sure. We did get a meal, which was pretty impressive because it was such a short flight, and of course, the fabulous Thai service and hospitality. The crew were amazing. Food was okay, nothing particularly special, but it was an enjoyable flight overall. Here we are, the Thai Airways 787 Blue. It smells nice, I have to say, and it's pretty clean, but I think there is only 8 of us in business class. So usual stuff, loo, mirror, another mirror, pretty standard. Before we knew it, we were landing in Bangkok.
So a couple of things to consider before you go to Thailand. The first one is that you need a Thai e-visa, which is fairly new. It's free. You should apply for it online through the Thai website, which I'll put a link on in the comments. And you should do it 3 days before. Very simple process. It was the same in Malaysia and no cost at all to you.
If you do forget to do this though, you can do it on arrival. It's just going to slow you down though.
The other considerations you need is, if you've never had it, you need to download Grab. There are a few alternatives. Grab is what we used, and it's very similar to Uber. It looks the same, operates in the same way. Slight differences. I think Bolt, and there's a few other apps that will work with it, but Grab will get you through everywhere we've been so far in Southeast Asia. The other consideration that we only found in Thailand but wasn't the same in Malaysia is you need to download an app called Line. And Line is a bit like WhatsApp. WhatsApp is generally used throughout the world. And we've had no problems with it wherever we've gone. And Thailand is the first place we've gone to where you have to download Line, and a lot of people don't use WhatsApp. Line is a lot more complicated than WhatsApp in terms of connecting up to people and using QR codes to try and get them onto your friends list and things like that. I found it a lot more complicated, and
It's not quite as intuitive as WhatsApp is.
And we struggled even to connect to a couple of people. But Line is the thing that you need to download for a lot of things, hospitals,
tour guides,
businesses. Everybody uses Line in Thailand.
So here's your Thai phrases of the day. If you want to say hello in a kind of polite way or good morning, for a lady, it's Sawasdee Ka. For a gentleman, it's Sawasdee Crap. Yes, crap, I said crap. That is what it says. The car and the crap at the end denote what gender you are. And if you want to say thank you, it's Kop Kun Ka if you're a lady, Kop Kun Crap if you're a man. So there you go. I'm sure everybody in the comments is going to tell me I've said that all wrong. And for the last 3 months, I've been saying it wrong in Thailand. But that's people seem to understand me when I say it. And they really appreciate if you respond to them. Everybody you see will say Sawasdee Ka to you. When you get in the Grab, when you see people in the corridors at your hotel.
We must hear it 50 or 40
50
or
times
50,
a day, yeah. But Thai people seem to really appreciate if you can just say hello at least and thank you.
And they all generally close their hands in prayer and slightly bow.
Yeah.
Everybody does that. That's just.
So there you go. There's your Thai for today.
We booked a car with the Hyatt Regency Bangkok, which is something we normally do when we go into a new country. That way we know that that there is going to be somebody waiting for us at the airport. The distance between the airport and the hotel was about 18 miles, and the cost was US dollars 108. That's more expensive, a lot more expensive than it would have been on a Grab or a few other ways of doing it. But this way we knew that somebody would be helping us with our luggage from the moment we arrived at the airport terminal to get us all the way to the hotel. So for us, it was a bit of peace of mind, made sure that everything ran smoothly, and it was a really nice car.
Welcome to Bangkok.
We're going to be staying at the Hyatt Regency Bangkok for a total of 20 days. Now, the number of points, this is a point stay for us, the number of points that this would come to is 240,000 points. The cost, if we'd have paid for this day, would have been $9,814 US dollars, and instead it cost us nothing. So that for us was a really good redemption.
And we also got upgraded because of our Hyatt Globalist status. Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency in Bangkok, and we have moved rooms. So this is going to be a Grand Regency suite, I believe, and I'm standing just in front of the front door here. And we've got this big dining table or work table with a whole load of outlets and the phone and things there. And then this side we've got our mini bar with the water, fridge, coffee maker, kettle, all of that good stuff. And then we've got the living area with this nice kind of L-shaped sofa and a seat there and the TV. And then, so this is kind of a long room on the end, and apparently this is the only room in the hotel with a balcony. And I think we're on the 22nd floor here. It's a bit rainy here in Bangkok today, but there's our huge balcony. A couple of chairs and a couple of sunbeds. And then heading this way, we've got the bathroom, or the half bath with just the loo and the sink in. And coming through into the bedroom, which is not the biggest, but it's still nice. We've got quite windows all around and a big TV, and then a view out over the city and the edge of the balcony. And it's a bit quieter up here, which is why we asked to move, because down here is the BTS and the road, which was a little bit noisy, and it's definitely better up here on the 22nd floor. We were on the 14th floor before, So there's the bed, king size bed, which we did sleep in the other bed last night, which was very comfy, I have to say. And then coming through, we've got a walk-in closet. So we've got some shelving, and it looks like there's a cupboard here at the end as well, which I haven't looked in yet. Yeah, we've got the ironing board in there and another shelf. And that takes us into the bathroom. Double vanity. And then we've got the bathtub with a view of the city. Not quite as nice as the other room because this is on the side, not the front of the building. But still a nice bathtub nonetheless. And then we've got the loo behind the frosted door and the shower next to it. So that's it, that's our suite. Very nice indeed.
With Hyatt, we are globalists, which is their top tier, and that means that we got the suite upgrade, and we also get free breakfast and access to their executive lounge each night and each day.
Access to the lounge gives you breakfast in the morning, or you can have breakfast in the main restaurant. But if you go to the lounge, it's generally a bit quieter, but they're going to have less selection. They also have snacks and drinks out during the day. This is usually a bit more limited, and there'll be soft drinks available during the day and tea and coffee. And then in the evening, starting from 5:30 until 7:30, there's going to be happy hour. So that's access to free-flowing drinks. So that's going to be alcoholic drinks. Typically, they're limited to 1 gin, 1 whiskey, 1 vodka, 1 red and 1 white wine, for example, but unlimited soft drinks, tea and coffee, and then hot hors d'oeuvres. So typically there was a salad bar, and then there would be a different selection each evening of hot appetizers and what really constituted enough for an evening meal. So there was typically a curry and a pasta, and then everything else kind of rotated and changed. But for us, it was easily enough to give us dinner. There was this really cool balcony as well, an outdoor area, but there was only limited seating, so we used to try and get there early so we could sit out there. It was covered, so even if it was raining, you could still be outside, and it was usually a little bit cooler by the evenings, but it also gave us a great view to enjoy the city, watch the metro going past. Great little lounge overall. This evening we are at the Market Cafe here at the Hyatt Regency, and we are having dinner. And I'd love to tell you what we ordered, but I don't know how to say it, so we're going to try it and see if we like it. Because we were long stay guests, the Hyatt did invite us to go for dinner in the main restaurant one evening. On Friday evenings, I think it was, they had traditional Thai dancers on, so we went down and had a Thai dinner, and also we got to watch the dancers. Good morning from the Market Cafe, and this is where we have breakfast most days. You can have breakfast in the lounge, but this is going to be the main buffet restaurant for breakfast and dinner, so we'll show you around.
So they had a really nice juice bar, which made Helen's favourite, green juice, as well as them having sushi, good mix of Western, some Thai food, Eastern dishes. There was a good selection, and it was quite a substantial buffet.
There was also a bakery, eggs made to order, pancakes made to order, a large fruit section. It was a really big selection overall that would cover pretty much any taste, I think. And one morning that I did ask for pancakes, they made them into this really cute bear too.
Or was it a Mickey Mouse?
Or was it Mickey? Well, I thought it was a hidden Mickey. Too much time living in Florida at Disney.
The pool and fitness area are located on the 6th floor. The pool is an outside pool, and if you look over the edge, you can even see the BTS as it runs right next to the hotel. The gym was quite expansive. It had lots of different facilities, and it always seemed pretty quiet.
Not that we went there much, but we took a look.
But when we stuck our head through the door, it was pretty quiet.
We were here in Bangkok for 20 nights, so we wanted to show you a little bit about what we do in our kind of day-to-day when we're in somewhere like here. So it's not always going out sightseeing, we just do normal things as well. And one of those things was to go to Terminal 21, which was a mall that was about, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes walking distance from the hotel, and had a good range of shops. And we also needed to get a suit made for James because we were going to a wedding, and I needed to get a dress too. So we'll give you a little bit of a look around Terminal 21. Welcome to Terminal 21 Mall here in Bangkok. And each floor is going to be a different city. So we are currently in London, and I just met my new friend PC Club here. And each floor is themed for a different city. So we were just in Tokyo, and there's San Francisco. The lower floor is Caribbean. So yeah, it's a different kind of mall. Lots of mixed shops here. So Terminal 21 has got a big range of shops. Basically, the whole of the top floor is going to be a food court. It was a massive food court with every kind of cuisine that you could think of. And then the levels of shops had everything you could imagine. Lots of souvenir shops, lots of clothing shops. And then on the lower floors, there was like the big name shops, H&M, Boots, Watson's, all the kind of regular day-to-day shops that you might expect. Starbucks. There was lots of electrical shops. There was pretty much everything here you could possibly need. If you've been to Bangkok before, you know shopping is huge here. So all the malls kind of really have the same shops, honestly. But this one was very convenient to where we were. The one thing that this mall didn't have is a lot of the high-end stores. So if you're looking for your Cartier and designer brand names, you're not going to find them here. This was very much more day-to-day living. About 20 places to get your nails done, all sorts of hair cutteries, opticians, very much more day-to-day living.
Here we are, Terminal 21, which is a shopping centre in Bangkok. We are here for a few weeks, and we are going to be setting off to the UK for a wedding, for our goddaughter's wedding. So just above my shoulder is Oxford Tailors. We've just been in there and I'm having a suit made. The two-piece suit was 200 US. The waistcoat was about 60 US. The shirt, which is custom made, is 35 US. So just under 300 US dollars, and you get a free tie thrown in. So I guess you'll find out and see what the results look like at the end of this. This is my new suit. I've got a three-piece suit made by these three gentlemen. So Oxford Tailor is in Terminal 21. So really good service. I definitely recommend coming here. Thank you.
Just across the road from our hotel was a tailor called Bangkok Bazaar, and this is where I got my dress made for the wedding that we were going to be going to. Everything went really smoothly. I went in there with a rough idea of a picture of what I was looking for, and was able to show that to the tailor in there and pick out a fabric. There wasn't a huge amount of different fabrics for dresses. Most of the tailors in the area seem to very much focus on business wear and suits for men and women. But I did manage to find a fabric that I liked, and had to go back a couple times for fittings. And I got the completed dress in less than a week. I think they would have done it faster than that if I'd wanted them to, but we had plenty of time. And I also got a couple of other alterations done here as well, because I've lost some weight. I had some merino wool tops that I wanted to adjust. I got the adjustments made to 2 tops and a dress, which cost me about $25 US for all 3 items. The dress needed a fair amount of work as well. And the dress that I had made came to about 180 US, which was pricier than I was expecting. But for a custom tailored piece, I was going to hold out till we got to Vietnam to have some custom clothes made, but the wedding came up, so I figured we'd get something here. Honestly, being a bigger size person in Southeast Asia, I probably would have struggled to find something that was suitable for a wedding. Having said that, I did find H&M after that, and worked out I could have probably got something there. But anyway, we got the dress made.
So today we're in Bangkok, we're at Central World, and we're at the famous Bed Cinema. Never ever been to one of these, and Mission Impossible had just come out, so we thought we'd give it a try. We've seen lots of videos on it, and it's pretty expensive. It's $33 US per person, but for that you get unlimited soft drinks, unlimited snacks, and they're kind of gourmet snacks. They're like gourmet popcorn, things like that. And you get this little seating area before you go into your
A bit like an airport lounge.
yeah, like an airport lounge, which you could sit there, have some snacks on, and then when you went into the cinema, you can always come back out and grab some snacks during the movie as well. The actual cinema itself comes with, you have this bed, you can have a single or you can have a double, and then you also get a fresh blanket and a fresh pillow which are sealed.
Yeah.
So
And the bed is like an adjustable bed that you would buy to sleep in at home.
I think it's sponsored by Omaze, so it's one of the, like a sleep number type bed, which is what we used to have.
They also gave you slippers.
Yes. And so we sat down there. Helen used the blanket.
It was freezing cold. I don't know what it is about Southeast Asia. Wherever you go, it's freezing cold. I sat in there with 2 blankets on me and was absolutely freezing cold still. I don't know if they don't want you to fall asleep during the movie, but it was so cold. It was so cold in there.
But it was a really good experience. The snacks were really good. The film was excellent. And yeah, thumbs up for the bed cinema.
Definitely. Central World Mall is also a bit more of an upscale mall, so they had more upscale shops in here, as well as the regular day-to-day shops. And again, another huge food court and a grocery store. It was huge. It's a huge mall. We didn't buy anything really much at Central World. Just had a bit of a walk around the shops because we travel carry-on only. We're not big shoppers anyway, but if you are interested, there's a good selection of shops there, souvenir shops as well as kind of your regular stores. The one thing we had been looking for was new glasses, and we've been in several opticians through Bangkok. And if it is something you're looking for when you come to Thailand, they were expensive. Like more expensive than the US would be. So we've decided we're going to wait until we get to Vietnam, maybe see if we can get them there, but super expensive in Thailand.
The bed cinema was located within the Central World Shopping Mall. Now, as with all main buildings and hotels, even some houses, they all have these things called spirit houses. And the idea is that the spirit has somewhere to visit and to stay outside of the house. So you encourage the good spirits to stay near your property. I'm sure I'm getting that slightly wrong because I don't understand the full bits of it. But basically, you build a little house for the spirit, and that is located very near to the complex. So all the hotels had one, and Central World had one, but this was huge. And then it had elephant statues that were located next to it. And the idea is that you would go to that spirit house and you would pray, and you would also leave offerings. And those offerings are to the spirits. So we've seen these all over the place in Thailand, but this is probably the biggest one I've ever seen. Next to Central World was this temple, and people were making offerings. And for each offering, they would have a dance performed while they pray.
One morning then we headed to the Peninsular Hotel. We were going there because there was an elephant parade shop and I wanted to pick something up. From there, I can order elephants and have them shipped direct to the US. So there was one I wanted to order. The Peninsular Hotel is absolutely beautiful, I have to say. Very nice indeed. Would like to stay there.
Next time.
Yeah, next time, right on the river. They did offer a free boat to the mall, though, which isn't too far away. So we snuck onto their boat and pretended that we were staying there and had a little 5-10 minute little boat ride up the river to the IconSiam Mall.
So we're used to big shopping centres. This shopping centre is huge. It's 750,000 square meters. It's the biggest shopping centre in Thailand, and it's the third biggest shopping centre in the world, and it's bigger than the Dubai Mall, which I think was the biggest one we have ever been to. This place is vast.
As you go in from the river, the whole of the ground floor is set up like a bazaar which is actually really good fun. It was nice to be able to walk around the souvenir stalls in the air conditioning, even though it wasn't very fierce air conditioning, still much nicer than being outside in the heat. Again, great selection here, good prices, not as cheap as the night markets are going to be, but still decent prices and a really good selection.
I think the one thing that was really noticeable in these bazaar areas is these were all independent small businesses. So you've got this huge shopping centre that's got Cartier and Rolex and H&M and all of the regular stores. And then they have this whole area dedicated to, I wouldn't say small craft items, because a lot of them were perhaps mass produced, but it was a lot smaller holdings, smaller businesses.
Yeah, there was a lot of souvenirs. There was also a lot of independent food stalls as well, with fruit as well as cooked items. It was basically like being at a night market, but inside.
We didn't spend a lot of time in this shopping centre. It's everything above the ground level is very much more on the high end side, more like a Dubai Mall, Cartier, Rolex, all of the big brands. And we had absolutely no need for any of that. So we actually just left it at that and moved on with our day.
To clarify, we don't just spend our entire time walking around malls, although it seems like that.
In Southeast Asia, you do.
Yeah, well, we're here in rainy season and it's hot. So if we weren't out sightseeing, a day out did typically involve the mall and a coffee shop or something.
Yeah.
But it was
You want to get a coffee, you go to the
you
mall.
go to the mall.
If you want to go in public transport, you go to the mall. If you want to stay out of the weather, you go to the mall. If you want to do some shopping, you go to the mall. It's just the place that everyone goes to, and everyone goes there.
They do. They're always super busy. We're kids of the 80s. We grew up with malls. Shout out to the Haymarket Centre in Leicester if you're from there. That was where I spent my youth. So it's in a way it's nice to sort of, for us anyway, to like relive our youth and the mall culture, which has really kind of died in the US and the UK really as well now.
And it's just nice to go to leave the hotel or Airbnb and just go and get a coffee and just get out of that environment, even if you don't need to buy anything.
Good way to get some steps in too, in the air conditioning.
Yes.
Go walk around the mall. So I hope you enjoyed that sort of brief insight into what our day-to-day life is like when we're not sightseeing or doing like a tourist thing. Like I said, not just malls, although it seems like that. We spend a lot of time sitting in the room as well, just relaxing. So that's really what retired nomad life is like though. So thanks for joining us and we will see you next time.
And remember, you're here for a good time, not a long time.